Sanjay uvācha. dṛiṣhṭvā tu Pandava-anīkam vyūḍham Duryodhanastada acharyam upasangamya rajavachanam abravit.
The dawn over Kurukshetra reveals a copper-red sky. Beneath it, an unimaginably massive force waits in the cold morning dust, the seemingly endless lines of the Kaurava army. King Duryodhana commands iron-clad war elephants, long rows of golden chariots, and millions of heavily armed soldiers ready to march on his order. These military assets provide every physical advantage necessary for victory. A commander standing behind such a wall should feel secure, yet Duryodhana's reaction defies the sheer scale of his own power. Across the field, the Pandava army stands in strict, careful discipline, functioning like sacred geometry carved directly into the earth. Upon seeing this formation, Duryodhana abandons his position of authority at the royal throne and approaches his teacher, Dronacharya. He speaks with calculated diplomacy, reminding Drona that the very commanders leading the enemy were once Drona's own students. Beneath the respectful tone lies an accusation, attempting to hide his own panic by shifting the responsibility for the coming conflict onto his teacher. This is the weight of adharma. Outward arrogance serves as a thin shell over a hollow, trembling interior. A battle fought against one's own sense of righteousness is already lost in the mind before a single arrow takes flight. The visual structure of the battlefield reflects the internal anatomy of human consciousness. The Kaurava forces represent the ego, driven by insecurity, greed, and the constant need for external control. The Pandava army represents the inner conscience, defined by discipline and an alignment with the universal order of Dharma. Between these two forces sits the human mind, the territory where the tension between ego and conscience is navigated. Because the ego relies entirely on external validation to feel secure, it begins to fracture when it encounters an unyielding internal truth. This collision between a hollow structure and a solid core is why massive material power feels an inherent reflexive terror when faced with a disciplined conscience. This imbalance traces back to a meeting in the city of Dwarka before the war began. Krishna offered both rival leaders a choice. They could have the support of his vast army of millions of warriors, or they could have his presence as a single, unarmed advisor. Duryodhana chose the army. He prioritized physical matter and visible force, the primary requirements of the ego. Arjuna chose the unarmed Krishna, prioritizing spiritual guidance and inner truth over physical advantage. Choosing matter over consciousness results in the exact paralysis Duryodhana faces now. Without internal guidance, the largest army in the world cannot provide a sense of security. Arjuna stands in his golden chariot with Krishna holding the reins, contrasting the chaos surrounding them. The chariot itself functions as the human body, the vehicle used to move through life. The horses represent the five senses, which naturally pull in different directions toward external desires and distractions. The reins are the mind, the tool used to bring the senses into alignment. Krishna, the driver, is the higher intelligence that directs the mind toward a specific purpose. Invincibility stems entirely from the quality of the intelligence steering the soul, rather than the sheer size of the forces at your disposal. The constant friction between ego and wisdom happens every morning in the microscopic space inside the human heart. The forces of pride and strict discipline prepare to wage this exact war within our own modern lives. Every soul faces the same recurring decision: rely on the fragile illusion of material control, or choose the unshakable guidance of inner truth.
Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope this exploration offered a meaningful glimpse into the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita.
Until next time, have faith, and remember, Krishna brings light to the darkest corners.
Thank you for staying alongside with me on this spiritual journey. Hope to see you soon, and thank you for watching Veda Visions.